This short tutorial will familiarize you with the navigation features of posture analysis. Let's start off with the home button on the top left corner. This button will bring you back to the current page. On the left you see the table of contents, and check our related tutorial to learn more about the table of contents. The back and forward buttons are the same as in your browser, and they bring you to the page you've visited last, or you can jump between pages you have visited. The search button, if we click on the search button, that allows you to search for keywords. Let's click on it here, and for example we type in shoulder and press search. As you can see, there's about 36 pages found for the shoulder. You also will see that each of the entries in the list starts with 3 capital letters, like MUR, for example, CON. Now I'll just explain what they are all about. ANT, as in anterior, stands for pages that show the person from the front. So if you're looking at the client from the front and you want to see information regarding the shoulder, the lines that start with ANT will probably be the most interesting to you. POS stands for posterior, obviously, and LAT for lateral, so they're pretty self-explanatory. CON, as we'll have here, stands for condition. So they are postural conditions that are described in a chapter, and those pages bring you directly there. MUR stands for muscles regional. They are the muscles around a particular joint which will contribute to its movement. Whatever your choice, just click onto the relevant display button. For our demonstration we will go to the number 11. It says here anterior shoulder angles to neck, because let's say for argument's sake we're not too sure what the relationship between the neck and the shoulder should be like. So let's click on that link, number 11, and here we go. So we've got all the information we need. We'll discuss the page setup in another tutorial. Now, if this is something that I see quite often in practice, and now I remember seeing that Mr. Miller looked like that when he came for his last appointment, the same shoulder up and his head shaven like that. So I actually would like to show him that picture so he can see what's happening with his body. So this is what the favorites button is for. So if I click on the favorites button up here and I choose add favorite, that display comes up, and now it asks me to add that favorite to my list. So I don't want to call it anterior shoulder angles to neck because I can't really remember that later on. So what I'm going to do is I type in Mr. Miller here. So here we go, Mr. Miller, and say OK, and now you can see that Mr. Miller shows up on the relevant page. So if I go to any other page, for example, like I'll go back to the home page we were before, and now I click on Mr. Miller that I've got in my favorites. Here we go, back to that page that we just visited. So you can keep that for future reference for pages that you want to visit more often, or that you come across and you find interesting to discuss with colleagues or to show to your clients. So once we've done that, the manage button of course is to change that or undo that again. So if I click on manage here, it gives me the options either edit or delete. So if I click on edit and I say, well, it wasn't Mr. Miller, it was actually Mrs. Miller with the shaven head that I was thinking about, and I say OK here, and you can see this is changed to Mrs. Miller, and then if I wish to delete that, I could delete it here. So you can have quite a few sections and pages that you can highlight this way. Then last but not least, we've got the TOC button here, and that brings us back to the table of contents again. So if we get back to the table of contents, this is where we started out. It's opened up now because we had visited that particular page here. As you can see, anterior shoulder angles to neck. And just to check whether Mrs. Miller is still on our favorites list here, so we click on to favorites, Mrs. Miller, here we go. Alright, and that's the end of that short tutorial.